on? So today on Big House Sport, I'm actually kind of pissed off. I'm not exactly happy. The situation that I'm about to talk about right now is just really, it really is frustrating. It really is frustrating. And even myself, who's not a Kiwi, I'm not from New Zealand, but I still feel affected by this. I don't really have any ties to New Zealand besides, you know, sport, really, and the fact that Australia and New Zealand are very close to each other. The fact of the matter is that I see New Zealand as like a brother to Australia. I feel like I want to protect my little brother. You know, I feel I want to protect my little brother right now. Today's video, we're going to be discussing, is the haka becoming boring or is the haka just becoming overused? And that is something that a lot of people have been talking about in the last couple of months, especially since the Rugby World Cup in Japan. Yes, it has been a very big discussion point. And what I have to say to that straight away is you are a dickhead. Whatever people are saying about this haka becoming boring or repetitive or overused is just absolutely diabolically ridiculous. Firstly, if you're not from New Zealand, then you shouldn't be saying anything, okay? Because this is a cultural representation of their country. This isn't just them kind of being like, you know what? Let's go out and dance, son. Let's go out and dance before the game. No, that's not what's happening. It's a cultural representation of them going to war and defending their country. And I know that this is just in sport, but if you think about it, sport is going to war against another nation to come out who's best. It's the exact same as war without the death. It's not just somebody dancing at a nightclub. This is an actual representation of a culture. You're disrespecting it by saying that they should stop it or it's boring. Like, firstly, it's not boring whatsoever. I've been literally 10 meters from where the haka is being done, literally on the weekend. I tell you right now, it is not boring and I've witnessed it my entire life. Secondly, people are saying it's being overused or it's becoming repetitive. Now, if you don't want it to be overused and you don't want it to become repetitive, then here's an idea. It's a great idea. This is a great idea. Hold on. Hold on to whatever's near you. Get in your car right now, put this on your phone, and then put your seatbelt on. This is a tough one to take. It's a bumpy ride. Don't let them win as much. Oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh. Don't let them win as much. Especially in the sevens, where the men and the women only perform the haka when they win the tournament. If you don't want to see it, then here's an idea. Don't let them win it. Simple as that. Your team needs to be better than theirs and you won't see it happen. And in regards to the All Blacks 15s, look, they don't play every 2 seconds. They play every couple of months. You know, the World Cup is every 4 years. How is that too repetitive? It takes a couple of months before they play one game. What, a minute? A minute's worth before the game starts that is showing off their culture, representing their nation, and providing a fierce outlook for the opposition team to try and scare them into submission. What is actually wrong with that? I just don't get why there's so much criticism around this right now. Next up, I want to discuss the Irish reporter who said that it's an unfair advantage. An unfair advantage. All right, mate. Okay, well. An unfair advantage. Oh, that's a really cute excuse, man. Oh, the only reason they're winning is because of this haka. Oh, it's not because their players are better or they're designed better or they've actually put more work into their game to be a better team. It's actually because of the haka. It's an unfair, they're cheating. You know, they must be cheating. You know, that's why they win so much, because they're cheating. This is the state. This is the state that the world has become. This is the state the world has become, where you can't represent your culture without someone thinking you're cheating. What this Irish reporter is saying is that this dance, this haka, is the sole reason the Kiwis are winning their game. And I understand the difference of advantage and cheating, but they are very similar in what this guy is trying to allude to. I can't believe this guy's a real journalist. I really can't believe he's a journalist. I tell you what, if anyone should be complaining, it should be us Aussies. It should be the Aussies complaining. We don't have to blame them in the Rugby Championship. No, we have to deal with them all the time in the bloody Bledisloe Cup. We have to deal with the Kiwis on a 24/7 basis nearly. What are you talking about, Ireland? Oh, relax, buddy. You know, we have to deal with it a lot more than you have to deal with it. And yet we actually enjoy it. Everyone gets their cameras out and films the haka. You can hear the haka in the stadium. That's, like, there's literally 80,000 people in ANZ Stadium in Sydney. And you can hear the haka. You can hear the haka from the middle of the stadium. That's wild. That's crazy. And it's an experience. Experience that everyone wants to see. Obviously, this team is really capitalizing on the passion and energy that these guys have for the team, for their nation, and playing for their country. Ah, I see it now, sunshine. Oh, I see it now. You're threatened. You feel a little bit intimidated. You feel like, oh my gosh, they're scaring the Blaze and we can't win because of it. Well, that's literally the point. My question is, however, Fiji has their own haka. Samoa has their own haka. Tonga have their own haka. All the Pacific Islands have their own style of haka. It's not named haka, but for this video I'm going to represent it as the haka just so that it's a lot more easier to follow on with. But Fiji, Tonga, Samoa, they all have a cultural intimidation dance before every game. So my question is, where's the hatred for that? A little bit hypocritical, yeah? Because they're not as good. So what you're saying is only the New Zealand Haka is the one that provides the advantage, but Fiji, Tonga, Samoa, and the other Pacific Island nations doesn't provide an advantage. So what you're saying is there's a little bit of hocus pocus going around here, a bit of magic. I agree, there is a bit of magic behind the Haka, but that's because of the passion, son. That's because of the energy. It's what they put into it. It's showing how energetic and passionate they are. And that is where they get the advantage. They get the advantage through their own passion and through their own energy. So if you're going to start saying that the Haka is boring, then you have to start including all the Pacific Island nations, because it's the exact same thing, just reworked for their own culture. And if you're like, well, no, they're okay because we don't see them as much. Well, that's because they don't win as much. That's because they don't make the finals as much. And that's because you aren't taking as much notice. Here's an idea. Stop insulting the New Zealand Haka. If you don't like it, mute it, or turn the TV off, or maybe go and watch some ballet. You know, that's up to you. If you're gonna hate on the Haka, you have to hate on the entire representation of cultural dances in the Pacific. And if you want to create your own type of Haka in Ireland, then be my guest, sunshine. If the Australians wanted to do something that represented our culture in an indigenous fashion, then I would love that. That'd be awesome. And I would never get bored of that, because it is representing our nation, not your nation. I don't care about representing your nation. Your nation is your nation. You find a way to represent your nation. The only thing I will put out there is that I have seen a few Kiwis come out and say that it is getting boring. That's your choice. You know, I'm not going to defend that. I'm not going to argue against that, because you are an actual New Zealander and that is your cultural representation, and if you don't like it, that's your choice. I'm not going to defend against that. I'm just going to defend against other people from other countries who have nothing to do with New Zealand going and attacking New Zealand for their representation. If you don't like it yourself, that's fair enough, man. That's fair enough, but I guarantee you you're a part of the small population rather than the larger population. I just find it really simple, guys. I just find it really simple. My opinion is, if you don't like it, you've got three options. One option is to click mute. You wait till it's over. It's only going to take about 30 seconds to a minute. Go get a bloody cup of tea. Go get a beer. I don't know what you want to do. Go and get something. It's going to take 1 minute. Go and get something. Come back. Unmute. Bingo. The game's ready to go. And then you don't get to feel scared from your own couch at home. Number 2. Beat them. Ooh, damn, son. That's a hard one to take, innit? That means that your team actually has to be good, eh? And, they're probably not if you're complaining. And number 3, if you have a representation of your culture, go out and create it. We're eager to watch. So to wrap this video up, guys, basically, look, if you have a problem with it, then you're gonna have to deal with it internally, or you can keep posting on the All Blacks, you know, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. That one is up to you. I don't think it's necessarily gonna do anything, but it is up to you. It is a free world to choose what you would like to choose. I just want to make this video so that a lot of people could see that Australia, or my view from Australia, is different to what, say, Ireland have said. I think they've got an advantage. I think the Haka is an advantage, but it's an advantage that represents their culture and not a cheating advantage. An advantage that releases the passion and the energy needed to win the game that we all know the Kiwis have. And if you don't like that, then get better. Find your own cultural representation that'll get that passion and energy out of you. Or just simply get better. Because it's not the Haka's fault you're losing. It's your fault. Because you're not as good. You're not good enough. And I say that straight from a wallaby's mouth. We aren't good enough. We haven't been good enough for decades. And that's why we lose. We don't lose because of the Haka. We lose because we're not good enough. That is going to do us for today, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you did like it, please give a big thumbs up so know that you're enjoying this content. If you do love your sport and you haven't subscribed yet, well then obviously you got to go down there right now and hit that red button, that big old subscribe button. And also, don't forget to go and hit the little ding-a-ling-a-ling notification bell so you get a notification every time we upload. That is going to do us for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.